Good morning, guys. Sorry about that. I just woke up. Um, no, today I want to talk about something that was crossing my mind, and one of my Italian friends who's talking to a girl. He is what we call quote in love with her, which is I just think that's it's a funny thing to say. You're in love with a woman. Um, because there's an old philosophy from Buddha that says attachment to anything is the equal of suffering, is the root of all suffering. So, and I actually kind of believe that. Sorry, it just took me a minute. I just woke up. No, it's true. I am a firm believer that having an attachment towards a woman will be your downfall as a man. And that's just the reality of things. And that's just the whole gist of it. The reason why I'm bringing this up, last night I had a girl was asking me, I'm talking to her. She's interested in me, but I don't know. I'm just trying to, see if it's not compatibility. It's mostly, do you guys get along? That's what I want. And she was like asking me, it's like, when is your last time when you have a relationship? And I was like, 8 years. 8 years, and I've been alone ever since. And she was like, wow, that's very, very strange. And I was like, well, I, that's just the reality of who I was. But, no, the thing is that people want to be in love with a woman. And anyone who's out there who's talking to a girl or have a girl, they're so fascinated, infatuated. What's the English word? Fascinated or obsessive towards this person. And I think that's going to be your downfall. I think it's important to not be in love with a woman. You could be with them, but you can't fall in love with them. Like, I am a firm believer, people are out for themselves. And by the way, let's be real here. Women don't know how to handle power and authority. They don't. That's why they will just destroy relationships. That's why half the country is divorced. So what do you do in this situation what do you do with this information? Well, you have to be okay to be alone. No one gives a fuck about you. And you got to be okay with that. No one's not going to come and save you. And this is not black pill, so to speak. This is the truth. Women who women will just leave you down to a path of destructive, intentive, wants to control you. And that's just the truth. Relationships, in my opinion, are nice. I think it's okay to have relationships, but you have to have this in the back of your head that she could walk out anytime, any day. And the question is, you gotta ask yourself, why bother? You know? And if she gives you that little, like, really, like, you've been alone for 8 years, and she acts a little odd towards that, then I think you just need to go and find someone else. You know, you need to keep going because let's be real here. Men are the prize. Men are the ones who are going to be the one who are going to hold things together, and women are going to try their best to get you to worship them. They're not goddesses. They're not goddesses. You can have the most beautiful, baddest women in the world, but they're not goddesses. There never will be. They bleed like you and me. Just keep that in mind. On top of that, they age. We got to be okay with that. So, no, the whole point of this is that you should never fall in love. No matter how much you want to talk about it, no matter how much you want to say you love her, no. You should love yourself and your purpose. That's what you should do. A woman is just a woman, you know, and they'll do their best to actually sabotage your future because they want their attention. But no, I'm really sick of this fairy tale stuff, this facade, this fantasy of being with a person that might love you, but she has the ability to walk out anytime. You gotta have that ability because women are very, very destructive individuals. You know, in relationship, according to relationships, in my opinion, and this is just the truth. And I understand. You can't. I understand this is not fair, but you need to understand that as a man, you got to be okay to be alone. You have to be okay being die alone. You know, you got to be okay that you're gonna die alone. You know, and a lot of guys can't handle that because they want to have. They fear. They got to this narrative that they want to have someone that will love them. There's someone out there. There's no one for you. There is no one for who you call is the one. No one is your one. It doesn't exist. You can't say this to women because they have this fantasy in their head. But I'm gonna be real with you guys. It doesn't exist. You can fight me all you can, but that mentality, that way of thinking doesn't exist in the real world. What do they want? They want to have leverage over you. And you have to be the smartest one to choose which one is which you can actually have in your life. You know. And you can't be weak, man. You can't be weak. I don't care if you are crying. I don't care if you're having a bad day. I don't care if you're fucking depressed. You cannot be weak. No matter what. And if you do, they'll kick you in your teeth until your teeth concaves your mouth. No, it's just important to talk about these things because now these days we're living in a time where men are falling in love with what do you call fairy tale narrative, a Disney princess vibe, and you got to ask yourself this: is it worth it? Is it worth your time chasing after something that could burn you because of their stupid attention? And that's a really, really good question to talk about because I'm not going to give them any attention anymore. Like the fact that there are some people who want to be with me, but they don't understand like what I went through. I mean, it's okay, I guess. I mean, yeah, but no, you should never fall in love with a woman. There's a girl I'm talking to right now, and she's very what do you call it, feminine. But I'm not in love with her. Yeah, she's pretty, but I'm not in love with her. Why? Because I know what they're capable of. I've been in a relationship for 8 years because of a woman in my life. women did hurt me, man. So what did I do? I man up, I bite my tongue, and then I learned how to fucking be a man and not give them attention. You know, sometimes, like the other day, where was it? One of the girls was like, "Oh, are you okay? I don't want you to like, what was it?" She was like, "I hope you're doing okay." And I told her in the comment saying, "Don't worry about me." Yeah, because I'm just gonna be real here, man. Women are just a byproduct of your resistance, basically. You know, you don't have to be married. Anyone who says that is just a fucking loser. Things are different now. You know, it's okay to be with one, but you can't fall in love with one. And I don't care what anyone says. They want leverage over you. The question is, are you willing to let them in? Because it's your suffering, literally. You know, and you gotta, if I were you, if you could get your body right, get your mind right, get your attitude right, and then not try to flash your money before you flash that characteristic that I just mentioned earlier already. That's will lead you to a path of success. Because let's be real here. Women are just a byproduct of your existence. They are. And this is not black pilled. This is just reality. And you got to be okay with it. Most guys that I know can't handle this because you know why? They're pathetic. They are pathetic. They don't know how to talk to women. They don't know how to. You don't talk about things that are relevant. Why? Because at the end of the day, it's your problem. You know, while the world is burning, you got to tell her that everything's okay. I don't know. They're just they're just women are very destructive individuals. They do things out of impulsiveness and emotions. They don't know how to master that versus men masters that. And you have to master that. If you can't master that, you're pathetic and weak. That's what I view you as. And I'm talking like this because I'm rugged. I'm tired. I'm really really tired. Like, oh, why haven't you go on? Why haven't you talked to anyone for 8 years? Well, I can't talk about like my feelings. I just say I like to be alone. There's a problem. Is there a problem with that? No, no. But this one thinks it's a problem. It gets under my skin because why should I talk about my shit towards you? You know, it's like that, and that's my mentality. You know, why should I focus on saying? Why should I say what my experience? I don't have time for that. We got to make money and then live in our peace. You know. Now, when a good feminine woman comes to you, you have to not be weak, man. That's the thing. Like for instance, there's this girl I'm talking to. She's very very gorgeous, yes. But the thing is, with her, um, she she's very very feminine. You know, doing all this stuff, doing all that stuff. It's fun. It's really it's adorable. But for me, I just sit in the dark. I just let her talk about her feelings. I let her do whatever she wants, you know. And then after that, I just move on because I don't need to talk about myself. And then when she says this, like what you've been through, I just talk about little stuff. I don't talk about serious stuff because it's just I'm not gonna lie, man. It's just a waste of time, in my opinion. We gotta make money, bloody ass money, to be the man we want to be, and that's the attitude you gotta have. If you don't have that attitude, you're gonna fall short. So, never fall in love with a woman. They will be your downfall and your suffering. You can always be with one, but never fall in love with them. Fall in love with yourself, your God, and your time. Because that's what you only have. That's the only thing you can own that actually truly loves you. Anywho, I hope you guys are having a good Saturday. I just want to talk about this because I just want to get this off my chest because I'm tired of guys saying like I'm in love. Fuck off. Literally. Like that shit doesn't exist in this reality. So, anywho, you guys have a wonderful day. I gotta go do what I gotta do. I'll catch you on the flip side. Bye bye for now. And subscribe if you like this video.